because the odds are just unbelievable. And the fact that another person who is very dear and close to me has had these numbers at this frequency, date, price amount, and time, come up with these exact numbers of 32 is just absolutely unbelievable. Now, I'll give a brief breakdown on what it means. As an angel number, these numbers 32 breaks down to 5. If you take each reference, we have 3 references of 32, so 5.5.5. That's an angelic number that means grand change ahead and get prepared because you're going on an adventure and you're supposed to approach it with curiosity. So that would be more for him personally, for his meaning. But if we take the same decode pattern as we did with mine, and we add 3 months and 2 days from the date of reference of today, we get Cinco de Mayo, which is the 5th day of the 5th month. So these 5s are just blowing up in our faces, man. Okay? And there's something really powerful going on here. All right? Now, I don't know what it is. And I'm just going to keep doing my work and keep doing my decodes on this stuff. Okay? But the thing is, these numbers and these expressions of these numbers are akin in their own way to crop circles. So that's why I joke about crop circles and I say, hey, my life is going crop circle. Well,
that sounds pretty cool. I've never heard that before, but it sounds cool when you say it.
Yeah, well, anyways, there's another one that we have coined here on Mike in the Night, okay? Ooh. So let's see if Alex Jones or Joe Rogan get a hold of this one, okay? And start, stating it.
Unfortunately, the aggregation with those guys is about 7 years, though. That's the problem, right? So, well, Joe Rogan, I would say 7 years, but unfortunately, but okay, you heard the Raven on earlier. Do you like? I'm feeling what he's feeling. That sentiment where I just feel like I'm out of gas. I'm losing my spark, my light, my this, my that.
Mike, I think that you have to look to these numbers that are expressing themselves for these different areas and dates. I mean, the fact that the universe is producing these synchronicities, okay, is something to marvel at. It's something to have childlike wonder when we hear stories like this, of expressions of numbers like this, because the coincidences are just beyond the realm of anything. And it shows on a concrete basis how some of us have been touched by the universe and have been chosen to be contacted by the universe in this manner. I'm not saying we're chosen. I'm just saying certain people have done the work or have aligned their personal lives and done the legwork or the personal development, right, where they are sensitive to be able to receive these messages. And it's not just me. I'm glad that it's somebody else that this happened to,
Right.
And I told her, you make sure you do one thing that I forgot to do when I got my synchronicity, mother of all synchronicities. I told him to go out and buy freaking lottery tickets, man.
Yeah. I'm going to add some. Can I add some sand and water to your concrete, if that's okay?
Oh, absolutely, bud. Go ahead, please.
This is how I'm going to decipher, or not decipher, or interpret what you're saying. So I'm seeing it like everything is all numbers and sequences and codes and the Model Pi, whatever, all numbers running in behind. There's like a DOS or a DOS shell or some sort of matrix running in behind of us, or running in parallel with us as we move along. And these numbers fall into line sometimes, and these numbers fall into, just like a slot machine when you get 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind and you hit a jackpot. These are jackpot revelations here that Dr. Mysterio is bringing up with specific numbers and specific, like 1 in a billion find or whatever. I understand where you're going. I understand. And that, yeah, it does play a big part, but it's deciphering and making sense of that jackpot win and releasing this information to everyone in a timely manner. So if we need to prepare, we can, or if we need to, what we have to do, the preparedness will be in place.
Well, I think that the importance of the occurrence of these numbers is important to get out when they do happen. All right. Again, this interpretation and the work that I've done on these numbers isn't by no means final. That was based on basically 15-minute decode, right? From today.
Mm-hmm.
And much more work has to be done into the manifestation of these numbers and the study of why these synchronicities appear to be happening to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I can say is that, to me, it seems to be a positive, a positive event.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that increases our sense of wonder, where we are touched by something almost divine like this, and this expression of numbers, is something to be regarded as awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I've got on that matter. All right. So that's what I had for the listeners. And I know you've got other people that you want to try to get on.
Oh, I have nobody. I really had nobody lined up. I was kind of going to go off the cusp tonight. I honestly, at the beginning of the show, I honestly just was out of gas. And then Kevin called in and the other gentleman called in. And I'm not trying to... I don't want to sit here and get reassurance from people and tell people telling me you're doing a good job and looking for reactions. I'm honestly just trying to find reason now, like at that point now in my life.
Okay, well, that's where I come in with the numbers game tonight. All right. So take that as a positive reminder, okay, to lift your spirits. And we have another date to look forward to in Cinco de Mayo. All right.
Okay, brother. So, that's recorded and that's documented and it's timestamped. Thanks, brother.
Okay, you're very welcome. I'm going to say goodnight because I'm tired too.
Hold on. Yep. Thanks for the donation, by the way. I forgot.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. All right. That was just thanks to Steve Sewell for leading by example. All right. Because one good turn deserves another. And he really paid one forward tonight. All right. I was really appreciative of that. And that's what got me to pony up to.
Thanks,
all right.
Brother.
Oh, listen, let's talk a little bit about your gas bill.
Yeah.
All right.
My electricity, that's my electricity bill is $575.22.
Yeah. Was that 1 month or was that 2 months?
According to this, it is... 2 months.
2 months. Yeah. Usually they're 60 days. We've been nursing.
So it's $10 a day, basically. $600, $10 a day.
We're running about the same thing here at our hobby farm too, up in Clearwater. Similar prices, $6.25 for every 2 months.
Yeah, so $10 a day to electrify my house.
Yeah, I know, it's absolutely insane, and I don't know what it is. Okay, that is consuming so much power, because really, we're pretty good, right? Around here, we don't use electric heat. We only use our propane, and we turn out the lights when we have to.
Loco in the comments is saying my electric bill last month was $22. Loco, you have no idea what's coming to Amerifornia near you. America's going to become like this. We're going to get $1,000 electricity bills.
Now, as a property owner, former resident of Lake Country, all right, I can tell you the difference in the policy of the electrical bills and why it's so cheap there and expensive in Merritt. All right, Fortis has direct infrastructure from the gas fields up by Fort St. John that go directly down and come down through Highway 97, along Highway 97, right into Kelowna. Okay, so their gas goes direct from source to our oven, right, or furnace in Lake Country when I used to live there, all right? But for Merritt, it's not the same thing. For Merritt, they got to move it, and then they have to store it in intermediate storage facilities. So that's where they get you in all this second delivery charges, right? You know, and transportation charges and storage charges.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that are really adding to the gas bills in real terms, okay, in places like Merritt that don't have direct connections to or permanent connections to the infrastructure.
Right.
All right. The gas passes through middleman. Maybe the middleman owned the local storage facility where the gas is compressed and kept temporarily after it's been delivered. And, you know, they make their cut too. So that's the difference in the price of gas in Lake Country, because in Lake Country, it would cost me, the worst month of year was maybe $200 in
Two
gas.
bills. Yeah.
Two bills, yeah, maybe $200 in gas. And you were already quoting me, you were paying 800, right? You know, and stuff like this per month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was absolutely outrageous. And the inconsistency and the difference of energy prices for different, you know, homes and everything like that in Canada is just absolutely unbelievable. There's a huge disparity between sort of urban living and rural living. We pay a lot more out in the country for our energy, it seems, you know. So, anyways, there's something a little bit more grounded and a little bit more, you know, in real terms that affects us all in terms of community.
Yeah.
And today I was out on the highway with the Kamloops people. We were waving our flags to create public awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And across the other side of the highway, a woman in like a Mazda pulls over. Woman gets out and starts photographing us with a huge white professional telephoto lens on her camera. She's not taking pictures of bodies, she's taking pictures of faces,
Mm-hmm.
right? And wants to get everybody's face, you know, as we're just waving flags, creating awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's profiling to, or these later door-to-door prosecution searches.
Oh, they
But
were
I'm
doing that. They were doing that during the Trump rallies in the States. People would go in with cameras, and they would go in and photograph all the cars in the parking lot, all the license plates.
Mhm. Yeah, well, anyways, they're still doing the same tactics up here. We haven't had it done in a long time, but we're still out there and we're still doing it. We had a good crowd today, right? And this crowd has been there every weekend since April of 2020.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going on 3.5 years, you know, people just trying to be dedicated and wave flags and tell people, right, you know, that you know, to do some research and try to
Understood, buddy.
think for themselves.
That's right.
So we'll conclude it on that note there, Mike. All right. And I was glad to hear from the Raven tonight, but I'm going to pray for the Raven big time. All right. And his girlfriend.
And don't forget to pray for Dano too.
Yeah. And Dano and his wife, and her name is Pam, I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
It is. You're right.
So, yeah. So I will pray for them all. All right. And I really want to send some love and light out to the Raven man. Okay. Because this guy's living in a hellhole city, being Winnipeg.
Murder peg.
Yeah, and I mean, I hear stories about Winnipeg all the time because some of my business associates are from there.
Right.
Okay, and it's not a nice place. Okay, it's really not a nice place. So my sympathies and all the love and support that I can muster for the Raven. Okay, and his girlfriend, and lots of love. Okay, to Dano's wife Pam. All right, her too. Take care. We'll
God
talk
bless
soon.
you.
Ciao.
Ciao. That is Dr. Mysterio on Mike in the Night, episode 545, February 3rd, 2024. 332 days left in 2024.